Welcome to Real World AIP, the YouTube channel dedicated to helping you implement the Autoimmune Protocol. I'm AIP Certified Coach Stacey, and today I am going to be showing you how to make my, I call it Pimped-Out Burger Bake. Why is it pimped out? Because it not only has liver, which you can't taste, it also has oysters, which you can't taste. It just tastes like a delicious, savory burger bake, but it's pimped out, super nutrient dense. So to make this, you're gonna need 3 pounds of ground beef, an 8-ounce can of oysters, and a pound of preferably grass-fed beef liver. I'll put a link below to US Wellness where I get my grass-fed beef liver. And I'm cooking in Mom's kitchen. I've kind of learned how to navigate my way around the gluten-y areas. Before I start mixing this stuff up, I'm gonna go ahead and preheat the oven to 400 degrees. And because I'm not working in a gluten-free kitchen, here are some of the things I do to protect myself from gluten. First of all, I washed the knife before I use it. I wash anything that I'm using that we share, I wash it before I use it, including this bowl I'm gonna mix everything in. I bought my own cheapo, my nice ones are in storage. I love my stainless steel measuring spoons that Todd sent me, but they're in the box somewhere in storage. So I got these cheapo ones, and then I also got a set of measuring cups because I don't want to use the ones that had flour in it. I'm pretty sure she washes them in between, but this I just feel safer about. I have my cutting board here. This side is a little different, so I know this side always goes up. So if there was a trace of gluten here, it's not touching my food. And I don't throw my measuring cup or like my spoons right directly on the counter. I'll use like a paper plate or something. So nothing is touching a gluten-y surface. And so far so good. It's been 6 weeks. I've not gotten sick. So I am going to start throwing all of the ingredients into this bowl. We're gonna start with 3 pounds of ground beef. You could make a smaller batch, but this is delicious and it freezes perfectly, so why not make a bunch of it? Save yourself the trouble next time around. Then we're gonna put in 1/2 cup of tiger nut flour. I like the Tiger Nuts USA brand because they have the best price per pound. I'll put the details in the description below. This is not like exact baking, so I'm just gonna do it like this. And if I have a smidge extra, that's totally fine. That's fine. So about 1/2 cup. Okay, now the rest of this we're actually gonna build in the blender. So I'm just gonna get this onion prepped. This is gonna be about 1 cup of onion. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the whole ounce. This is a 1 ounce pack of garlic. So it's like 1, 2, 3, it's like 6 or 7 cloves, because some of these don't even count as a clove. Say 6 to 8 cloves of garlic. All right, into the blender. I'm going to put 1 pound of liver. So this liver I had chopped up because, oh boy, I don't even want to admit to this. I tried to make a hidden liver smoothie. Ugh. Fail, because I put too much, and I don't know, I'll never try that again. Anyway, this combined, this is 1 pound of liver. And I'm just gonna throw the onion and the garlic right there in there with that. So I have 3 pounds of beef and 1 pound of liver, that's 4 pounds. My salt rule is a teaspoon of salt per pound of meat. So I'm gonna use 4 teaspoons of salt. 1, 2, 3.5, because for seasoning, I'm gonna use the Primal Palette Super Gyro. Love this stuff. It's basically salt, oregano, marjoram, thyme, and garlic. I'm gonna put like 2 tablespoons of this in there. Oh yeah, I'm loading it up. I want this to be super flavorful. So that's gonna add a little bit of salt, so 2 tablespoons. You can use herbes de Provence, you can use an Italian seasoning blend, whatever you'd like. You could also use the Primal Palette Breakfast Blend, I love that one. To this I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm not gonna measure it because honestly, If you were to do 4 tablespoons, that would be totally fine. If you were to underdo it and do 1 tablespoon, it would probably be fine too. We want a little acidity. I'm going to use this organic balsamic vinegar. Do you want to measure it? Do 2 to 3 tablespoons. So now I'm gonna blend this up. I'm not gonna add these oysters just yet. So I'm using an 8-ounce can of oysters, which are not the greatest. There's nothing about BPA on this can. Ideally, you would buy the shucked frozen oysters. I'll put a link to where you can get them from Vital Choice. They actually have a really decent deal if you buy enough to get the free shipping. And so I would just substitute 8 ounces of oysters in their juice. But in a pinch, these work fine. I'm not gonna put it in just yet. Here's my little corner of the kitchen. I have all of my stuff kind of set away from everything else. I have my big Berkey water filter. I have my freezer that my little niece decorated for me. I got the Vitamix. Couple more things about working in a gluten-y kitchen, like this. You don't know what the heck this was used to open. It could have been used to open a can of Chef Boyardee pasta tomato. So I wash this before I use it. Another thing to be careful of if you're working in a gluten-y kitchen. Any cabinet handles, any handle you touch, you're now potentially getting gluten on your fingers. So what I do is like I try to have a designated like gluten hand and I'm like this. Or I just try to wash my hands a lot, or I'll use like a paper towel to open these, but just be mindful that as soon as you touch something like this, you'll probably have gluten on your fingers. And the same thing with that microwave handle. Ooh, this right here, this is like gluten. So careful. And the same with like the oven handle. Anything you touch, just like get used to either putting on I don't know, like a gluten glove or using a paper towel, or just be mindful of that. Have a designated hand. I don't know. Just know when you're touching this, you're getting gluten on your hands. Oh, the silverware drawer. Okay. I started keeping, I have 2 forks and 2 spoons, and I keep them washed and I keep them stashed in my room along with 2 bowls, because I don't like, because the drawer, this drawer. So you look in the silverware drawer. First of all, now you're touching gluten, right? There are crumbs. See the crumbs? Look. See these crumbs? I don't know if you can see it. There's crumbs. And that's probably bread or gluten or something like that. So when you're picking up the last spoon and you're using it, So I have my own silverware kind of stashed to the side, my own bowls. So there's some other ways that I navigate the gluten-y kitchen. Laura was kind enough, my former patron, was kind enough to send me a mini fridge. So I have a mini fridge in my room, which is awesome. So now I have the freezer and the fridge. So it's actually not that bad. I'm totally getting used to it. I'm not having that much trouble anymore navigating this kitchen now that I'm aware of certain things. I'm going to wash my hands since I just demonstrated how not to get gluten all over your fingers. I'm going to wash my hands and let's blend this up. Can you hear that kind of like click, 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 click? Those are the hard parts of the liver, some of the little knobbly bits. You want to kind of go till you don't hear that anymore. But don't go till it's hot. You don't want to cook the liver in here. But just make sure there's not any of that click, click, bang, bang. Because those are knobbly bits and you don't want knobbly bits in this. And now that this is all incorporated, I have drained these oysters. If you're using the frozen, don't drain them. I'm just gonna pop these in. I'm just gonna pulse it a couple times. That's plenty. All right, so we're gonna take the contents of the blender and we're gonna pour all this chocolate pudding into this bowl with the tiger nuts and the beef. You want to use a spatula and make sure to get all the good stuff out of there. And by the way, I have my own designated spatula too, because I just feel like this little crack and crevice is a great place to get some dried cake batter stuck in, and I don't know. These are cheap. It's worth just picking up a cheap one next time you're at the store. I never thought of that when I was moving, and so all of my stuff is in storage, so I'm gonna have doubles when I get my apartment. Now there's only one way to mix this. Well, all right, you could probably use a food processor. This is how I like to do it. And you're just gonna go until it's all incorporated and it's just like, it looks like meatloaf. Woo, that's cold. All right, there we go. See? It's all incorporated. Time to bake it. Pour this whole mass right in here. And spread it evenly. If you have any of my Novolone cheese, that would be really good. You could sprinkle that on right now in this step before you bake it, but it's gonna be great without it too. Into the oven. So I preheated this to 400 degrees. And that's gonna go for 20 minutes. One other little trick I do to protect me from the gluten is I keep my own personal sponge in a mason jar here, and everyone knows that's my gluten-free sponge, so it's another little thing I do. I also got my own pot holder because I just feel like pot holders oftentimes dip into, they touch the food, like, I don't know. Pot holder is a great way to get cross-contaminated. I got my own. Woo. I'm just gonna drain off some of that extra liquid, and then I'm gonna cut in and I'm gonna show you what we have. I'm going to divide this up into 16 servings. So you can use this as like a burger patty, or because of the thickness of this, you can actually, once it cools, so you have to wait for it to cool, you can cut it this way, right? And you can make 2 slices, and you can use this to make like a meat sandwich. Use it like meat bread. So you can have the 2 pieces of meat on the outside, put your Novolone cheese on the inside, or put some lettuce and onion and avocado, guacamole. You can just crumble this over a sweet potato. Use it like any kind of ground beef burger patty. It's got a delicious umami flavor. You will not know there's liver in it. You will not know there's oysters in it. All right, let me try a bit of this batch just to make sure that it's as good as the other batches. I just want to eat it. Oh my God, it's so good. You know, soy sauce gives food like that umami. That's what the oyster does, but you don't taste it. This is, oh my gosh, it's really good. It's delicious. It's so much better than a regular burger. And that tiger nut flour in there gives it a softness and a texture. I know if you make this, you will like it, and you will make it again and again and again. And you will get your nutrient-dense superfoods in on a daily basis without ever having to choke anything down or not enjoy anything. Nutrition facts for that hidden liver oyster burger bake. Oh, so much easier to just say Pimped-Out Burger Bake. Anyway, here it is. I had to put it in a little weird because the raw liver value they had only went by 3-ounce portions, so well, whatever. So we've got a pound of liver, half a cup of tiger nut flour, 3 pounds of beef, an onion, ounce of garlic, some olive oil, can of oysters. Oh, if you want the print recipe, that's gonna be up on my website, www.realworldaip. So there you go, Pimped-Out Burger Bake. I hope you like this. You gotta let me know if you try it. Tell me how you liked it. Also, if you want more behind the scenes stuff or a monthly exclusive recipe that never hits YouTube, check me out on Patreon. There's a link down below. All kinds of good recipes up there, and you get access to all the old ones too. So there's gotta be at least well up there by now. I don't know, things like ketchup and mustard and all kinds of stuff. So check that out. I hope you guys are all doing great, and I will see you soon. And until then, be healthy.